For decades, the God of the Bible has been slowly moved from our society, in preparation for the Antichrist doctrine of God-man on earth. From prayer being taken out of schools, to TV shows like the History Channel discrediting the reliability of the Bible, to even little things like the replacing of the name Christmas with the term Xmas, or the holidays. These are all attempts to remove the biblical God of old from society. In the mid-1800s, during what is termed the Enlightened Era, an organization called the Illuminated Ones, headed by a man named Adam Weishaupt, stepped forth with a mindset to enlighten the world with Luciferian beliefs. Adam Weishaupt and his Illuminated Ones' plan was to do away with what they termed the bondage of ignorance, held firm through religion. His desire was to enlighten humanity with esoteric truths of life and universe, while eradicating the God of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Believing humanity should live in reality, instead of what he called a fantasy land. His plan was to get the mindset of humanity ready for the new astrological age, which was only a little over 150 years away, that is the age of light and renewal. The age it is said we are presently in. In doing this, him and his colleagues' hope was to elevate mankind to God's status, looking and hoping for a paradigm shift in the evolutionary consciousness of humanity. They believed through right knowledge, man could become God. As mentioned in a previous segment, the Illuminati movement was, and still is, inspired by the dragon Lucifer, whom the architects worship as the personification of their god, which is energy. Their worship is much different from the worship of Christianity. To Luciferians, the worship of Lucifer is the worship of energy in the forms of knowledge, wisdom, science, and technology. Annually, the Bohemian Society, an elite social club, meet at different private resorts around the world. One of their rituals is dressing up in hooded gowns and dancing around a great bonfire, which represents the great illumination of Lucifer. It is said, at the great light, thoughts of wisdom are captured.
I want a quick ground strike to allow our envoys out of the region, followed by a strategic nuclear strike. Oh yes, they'll pay the price for their insolence. And let me know the moment Miss Barris arrives. Yes, sir.
Most people think, as depicted in the movies, when the Antichrist is made manifest, he will single-handedly conquer the world with his own elite military force, large bank account, and charm sprinkled with charisma and good looks. This is very untrue, and definitely not biblical. The Antichrist will have help. Much help. He will have a very large and strong support group. It is as the Bible's book of Daniel informs us. The Antichrist, being the little horn, will come up from among them. That is, the 10 horns which are universally accepted in Christianity as the 10 rulers of the New World Order. The prophet Daniel writes, I was considering the horns, and there was another horn, a little one, coming up among them. Daniel 7:8. The Antichrist job will be along the lines of a president who stands out in front. He will be the representative of the 10 horn rulers. He will be the front man and spokesperson for these 10 kings. The horns that make up 10 are the architects, the super elite families and organizations that are ushering in the New World Order. The Antichrist is the 11th horn, coming up among them. In 1952, Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands brought the 4 strongest organizations in the world together to establish the most powerful association the world has ever known, the infamous Bilderberg Group. At the core of this organization is a 39-member council broken up into 3 13-member groups. At the core is a mixture of Freemasons, the Roman Vatican, the Illuminati, and the Black families of Europe. Some of these organizations in times of old were enemies, but now work together to bring about the New World Order. This group, the Bilderbergs, along with the British monarch, runs the world. But although they now work together, many of them disagree on who should be the front man, that is, the Antichrist in the New World Order. The Vatican wants a pope to be the representative for the New World Coalition. But I believe it will be someone from Prince Bernhard's family. Seeing his lineage, the Habsburgs, claims direct descent to the last emperor of Rome. Prince Bernhard himself claims descent from the House of David. And the fact that he is the head of the black nobility doesn't hurt his chances one bit.
You have built a magnificent house for me. My soul leaps to see all that has been accomplished. For I have said in my heart, I will ascend to heaven, and it has come to pass. I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and it has come to pass. I will sit enthroned on this Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of the sacred mountain, and it has come to pass. I alone have done what no man has been able to do. I have taken the next step in our evolution. I have become king and God. Blasphemy! Here is blasphemy!
When you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel standing in the holy place, let those in Judea flee.
For death has come up into our palaces to cut off the children from without and the young men from within.
How you have fallen from heaven, Lucifer, son of the morning. How you are cut to the ground.
The Beha scum and people will stare at you and say,
Is this the man who made the nations tremble?
You have all bowed to the man of sin. But on the house of David, the Lord...
The Lord?
Yes, the Lord will pour out his spirit of grace. They will look on the Lord whom they have pierced, and mourn as one mourns for his only son.
The Lord? I alone am the Prince of Peace. If there is any other, then show us all a sign, right here, right now.
It is a wicked and perverse generation who asks for a sign.
but like Christ, your only sign will be this: destroy these temples of his holy prophets, and the Lord will rebuild them in 3 days.
It will be my pleasure.
The Bible informs us in Revelations 13:6, the Antichrist will open his mouth and utter blasphemy against God. Blasphemy occurs when one takes a position and makes themselves equal with the God of the Bible. But the Antichrist will take blasphemy one step further by exalting himself above the Most High God, while declaring God's name, God's temple, and those that dwell in heaven, all a sham. In fact, the Bible's 2 Thessalonians 2:4 states, he will oppose and exalt himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God, in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. The New King James Version commentary, elaborating on the word, opposed, used in 2 Thessalonians states, oppose is present tense in Greek, and implies continued, determined, and planned opposition to God. It is a common word for the opposing sides in a battle.
I want these reprobates put on display and guarded. Let the world see what happens to those who oppose me. Get me out of here.
The idea to be drawn here is, the Antichrist will purposely and continually promote the idea of the God of the Bible as fake, while promoting man as God. Every king of the 7 mighty empires that ruled over Israel, from Egypt to Assyria, Babylon to Medo-Persia, Greece to Rome, and the Catholic Church popes, were all considered gods on earth. This doctrine of man being God is an esoteric teaching stemming from the ancient Egyptian secret mystery institution of Karnak, Luxor, Egypt. The secret mystery institution taught humanity is God in their deepest identity, and would become God through reaching higher frequencies of the soul, that is the psyche or mind. It was taught in the mystery schools. The unfolding of the soul is achieved in stages through the pineal gland of the brain. That is the third eye. The major secret was the actual pineal gland that sits on top of the human's brain, in the synapse of it, separating its 2 hemispheres. At the School of Mystery, the student learned pineal secretion, a biochemical releasing, produced melatonin in the body, which regulated conscious and unconscious states. It was taught the pineal gland also possessed neuron cells in its framework, allowing it to work as the body's antenna, in relation to high vibration frequencies undetected by the basic 5 senses. Therefore, it functioned as an extrasensory, or eye that could see and touch the invisible world around us. The student understood life as a variety of different vibrations experienced through different frequencies. In the study of quantum physics, a frequency is the number of periodic vibrations, or waves per unit of time. Higher frequencies of soul allow humans to experience higher frequencies of reality. Depending on what frequency you operate in, determines your clarity or distortion of a matter. Clairvoyants and psychic are said to be able to operate in higher frequencies than the average person. To understand the thought of God being human is an idea that requires an enormously high frequency. Thus, the student couldn't become a student until a certain maturity level resided in him. It is said, the Greek philosopher Plato had to wait 40 years before becoming a student of the Egyptian schools of mystery. Their students were taught, the very thought of God transcends all thinking, because it is associated with the highest frequency of the universe. Concerning this esoteric doctrine, science physicist Vladimir Tarzinski stated, the physical reality that we live in, from a vibration viewpoint, is nothing more than one of the many radio stations on a dial of a radio receiver. And basically, we can tune out of this radio station, and next to the next one, and tune out of the next one, and to the third, and the fourth, and to the fifth. So is physical reality around us. If we increase the frequencies, or decrease them, we can tune out of this reality and into the next. The mystery schools observe God as a thought, an abstract or conceptual idea. They taught, the very thought of God transcends all thinking because it encompasses the entire unseen world. The entire unseen world is abbreviated in one word: God. Therefore, to them, God existed as a thought, a conceptual idea. It was in the interest of the architects of old, as well as today's architects, to reveal different revelational frequencies of God throughout history, that humanity may be able to one day contain God's highest frequency. Revelation, after a revelation, after a revelation. The example is drawn of children in school. As children, we sit in the classroom and learn different levels of mathematics. If trigonometry is given to us the first day, it cannot be conceived, existing on a level too high for our minds. So we are taught math in levels. The same stands true for God. Since the age of Taurus, the architects have been taking us through the different revelational frequencies of God, from the Egyptian god Amen-Ra, to the Hebrew god Jehovah, to the Christian God-man Jesus, to the man God, you. This is the road the architects are taking us down, that we may, as they believe, be able to tap into that most high frequency of God.
He doesn't even draw a distinction between himself and...
Never, never. You never can do that in a covenant relationship.
Do you know what else that's settled then tonight? This hue and cry and controversy that has been spawned by the devil to try and bring dissension within the body of Christ, that we're gods. I am a little God.
Yes. Yes.
I have his name. I'm one with him. I'm in covenant relation.
Yes.
I am a little God. Critics,
You are anything that he is.
yes.
God came from heaven, became a man, made man into little gods, went back to heaven as a man. He faces the Father as a man. I face devils as the Son of God. You see what I'm talking about? You say, Benny Hinn, am I a little God? You're a son of God, aren't you? You're a child of God, aren't you? You're a daughter of God, aren't you? What else are you? Quit your nonsense. What else are you? If you say I am, you're saying I'm a part of him, right? Is he God? Are you his offspring? Are you his children? You can't be human.
The Illuminati Bible, Sacred Knowledge Revealed.